Hello everyone, welcome to another Top 10 list. Today I'm giving you my top 10 favorite child performances. Now before I start my top 10, I do have a few honorable mentions I'd like to mention, and they are The Sandlot, the entire cast from 1993, Stephen King's It from 2017, The Losers Club did an amazing job, and Daphne Keane from Logan, she played X-23. She was great uh, in that film. I really hope she does some more X-Men films in the future. I really think that film should have been nominated for at least an Oscar or Golden Globe for Best Picture. Um, it was an amazing film and definitely my favorite in the X-Men franchise. Yeah, just an amazing performance. Could make my top 10, but starting at number 10 is Saoirse Ronan. I loved her in The Lovely Bones from 2009. That film, in my opinion, is underrated, and I know a lot of critics didn't like the film, but I really enjoyed this film. I loved her performance, and I love that the fact that SOB gets what's coming to him at the end of the movie. I love that sweet, sweet revenge, and yeah, this movie was a tearjerker in my opinion. I love the performances. Even Mark Wahlberg, a lot of times doesn't get enough credit for his performances, and I really loved him in this film. And yeah, Saoirse Ronan, even though I think she was maybe a smudge better in Lady Bird, I really love this performance, and I really love this movie, and she deserves to be in my top 10. Number 9 is Danielle Harris, Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers. Yes, they finally brought back Michael Myers instead of having that crappy, stupid sequel, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. And I know there's a cult following for that film, and kudos to them, but I hated that film. It was a piece of crap. And finally, they brought back Michael, which I was so happy. Even though they kind of ruined the series with Halloween Resurrection, Danielle Harris brought a new story and character to this franchise, and I loved her character. She is the new Scream Queen, taking over from J. Lee Curtis, and yeah, I loved her in this film. Had a crush on her growing up as well. She's a little bit older than I am, but she was just awesome in this film, and I loved her performance in this film. Number 8 is River Phoenix in Stand By Me, 1986. Plays Chris Chambers. I mean, what else can you say? This film is amazing. One of Stephen King's best. The book, The Body, was great, and I love this film. Richard Dreyfuss narrating this film was perfect. Kiefer Sutherland as a badass in this film. You have Jerry O'Connell, Will Wheaton, Corey Feldman, even John Cusack makes an appearance in the film. And I just love this film, and I love River Phoenix's performance in this film. And it's too bad we didn't get to see more of him because, tragically, he died in 1993. It's pretty much a story with a lot of great actors, and yeah, I really wish we could have seen more from him. But he was really great in this film, and he is also great in another 80s film, The Explorers. So definitely check that film out too. A young, very young Ethan Hawke is in that film as well. So definitely check that one out too. Coming to number 7 is Jonathan K. Kwan, aka Short Round from the Temple of Doom. I love this performance. I love him as Harrison Ford's sidekick. There's some critics that don't like this film. I love this film. I've seen this film more than Raiders of the Lost Ark, even though I think Raiders is a better film. I love the sequel. I don't like the third film in this franchise. I don't like Sean Connery. I know I may catch some crap for that, but I don't like that film. I actually skip over that film, and I actually enjoy Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I think it's underrated. I think people just hate on it for the fact that it took so long to get another sequel. Yeah, and Harrison Ford is older, but I love the fact that they brought back Karen Allen and I just love that film too. But I love Sei Kwan and or Jonathan K. Kwan as Short Round in Temple of Doom. He's just funny, and I loved him in the Goonies as well. Number 6 is Anna Klumsky from My Girl. She plays Veda Sultanfuss from 1991, along with Dan Aykroyd and Jamie Lee Curtis. She gives a great performance in this film. This is a tearjerker. I hate watching the ending of this film when her best friend dies, gets killed by the bees, and it's a great film. She gives a great performance. I really haven't seen her much in anything else. I know they made a sequel, which really wasn't that good. Not much to talk about, but this film and her performance will always have a special place in my heart and in my top 10 list. Number 5 is Macaulay Culkin playing Kevin in the 1990 film Home Alone, and also the 1993 film The Good Son playing Henry. Those two performances are my favorite of his. In one film, he's a funny little kid who gets left home while his parents travel to Paris, and he takes on two burglars, Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, and we all know what happens to them, and it's hilarious still to this day. In The Good Son, he plays a little, I say bastard in this film, but he plays it so well. And Elijah Wood is in this film as well. I believe Macaulay's sister is in this film as well, or maybe it was his brother. One of the two were in this film, but I love his performance in that film. He's so mean and hurtful, and I just love his performance. And the ending in that film is justified. I love when the mother lets go, basically like in Meryl Streep's film Sophie's Choice, and I love that ending. Even though I haven't seen Sophie's Choice, I know what it's about. But yeah, that ending is great, and Macaulay is great in those two films, which is why he's in my top 5. Coming to number 4 is Heather O'Rourke from The Poltergeist. She plays Carol Ann Freeling from 1982. I love this performance. I loved her in this film. The sequels were okay, but the first original film was amazing. That stupid ass remake was a joke and should have never been made. I'm not hateful on all remakes. There are some that I do enjoy, but that was one of them. But her performance in that film is amazing. I was 4 years old when this film came out, and I still love it to this day. I watch it every Halloween, and it's just an amazing film. She gives a great performance. Number 3 is Matt Dillon in the film Over the Edge from 1979. He plays Richie in this film. A lot of you probably don't know anything about this film. This is Matt Dillon's first ever film that he ever did. He was 14 years old. The reason he got this film was because producers of the film caught him skipping school one day, and they approached him about doing this film, and there you have it. That's how he got his start in Hollywood, and he went on from there doing other films in the 80s and whatnot. Drugstore Cowboy, My Bodyguard, The Outsiders, which is a great freaking film. But yeah, he was great in this film. Has to do with middle school kids, with sex, drugs, destroying other people's property. Just a great film, very underrated. Not a lot of people know about it, but you can find it on DVD, Blu-ray. You should be able to find it on Netflix or Xfinity On Demand. It's a great film. Definitely check it out. Number 2 is Corey Feldman from The Goonies, 1985. He plays Mouth in the film. I loved his performance in that film. I also loved him in Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, The Lost Boys. But this, to me, is my favorite performance of his. Although I think The Lost Boys is a better movie, his performance in this film is funny. And I love when he's taking the housekeeper around and giving her a tour of the house and telling her what she needs to do. It's just so hilarious. And yeah, he has some very good lines in the film as well. But Jerry Alert, But yeah, he gives a great performance in this film. And I love this movie. and there was talks about doing a remake or a sequel. I kind of hope they just leave it alone, but he gives a great performance in this film, and definitely worth being in my top 10. And my number one favorite child performance in movies is Drew Barrymore in E.T. She plays Gertie in 1982. I was 4 years old when this movie came out, of course, I've said already, and from her previous film. And she gives a great performance in this, even though it's more co-starring. She's still cute, and I had a huge crush on her. I still do. I love her to this day, and she's actually my favorite actress. But yeah, she's great in this movie, and I really can't say much else about it because everybody's seen the film. They know what it's about and everything. And her performance, like I said, it's really good, and it's what really got her started. And she took off from there. And to this day, I still love watching her movies. I love her when she teams up with Adam Sandler. My favorite collaboration with those two is 50 First Dates, even though a lot of people would say Wedding Singer. Definitely probably wouldn't say Blended, but 50 First Dates is my favorite with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. But yeah, she is my favorite child performer in films. So who are some of your favorite child performances? Let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, let's talk about this. I love talking about movies. I do top 10s. I do old and new movie reviews. And as I said in previous videos, my movie reviews for new movies will be a few months behind because I'm not able to get out to the theater and watch these films like I'd want to, being disabled and everything. So all my reviews will be coming from my place and whatnot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time on the next top 10 list. Till then, check you later, and you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.